I've unfortunately suffered an injury. I've ruptured my Achilles. It's one of will require surgery and will require time and rehab. If I had my choice, would I like to give up the belt? No, I wouldn't.
We've had 3 massive turnarounds in the division in like 6 months.
And now it's either going to be Jan or Alex again, probably. Do you reckon they'll put the title on that fight?
If they
100%.
don't make that title fight, that's such a big mistake.
100% they will.
When you look at Jan versus Alex, how do you see that going?
They're both distance strikers, right? They both sit on the outside. Alex is very good with his kicks to the body and to the legs. They are kind of like almost mirror images of each other in a way, because they both throw sort of single shots with a lot of power. And then you look at how open Pereira is with his offense. He's like, his defense is wide open. Like, he always is all offense. His hands are just like here. You know, that's how Adesanya just knocked him out. I feel like Jan is good enough and sneaky enough and technical enough to find the holes. So I do think Jan's got a really good chance. And I think he definitely hits him hard enough. I don't know. What is the general consensus? That he's going to lose?
I think people love the idea that Alex Pereira could knock anyone out. And they're just like, oh.
But what's really exciting now, you've got a man who arguably should be in those divisions, in light heavyweight. Now, let's see how his power kind of does against guys that he should be fighting.
Thing is, like, I like Jan and I like his style. I feel like Jan, Hill, Pereira, and Yuri, those 4 could all fight each other in any combination, and I would look forward to it. I'm actually, for the first time ever, there's 4 light heavyweights right there that I'm excited to see fight.
Hill getting injured is such a shame, because he's actually like so underestimated. In that Glover fight, he looked so much more developed than I think people thought he was. When you see him knock out people in the first round, it's impressive, but you never get that sense of like, what can he truly achieve? And he went full 5 rounds, beating Glover everywhere. Jiu-jitsu wasn't a problem. He looked phenomenal in that fight, I think. And it's such a shame that he's probably going to be out for such a long time now, because I think him and Yuri would have been a really good matchup.
The reason I like Jamahal Hill is because I feel like he is an example of the next level of striking. For light heavyweight, like, Jamahal Hill has the most modern form of striking, and it's really nice to see him stance switching and playing with different looks.
How devastating for that division is the loss of him as a champion, not just as a champion, but also one of the 4 that isn't amongst that division that is actually really exciting.
It kind of leaves the division a bit light again, because I don't know what the progress of Yuri coming back is. I don't know how far along he is in his recovery.
He might never look the same as well. That's the problem.
Yeah, and it was a shoulder, and like we saw with TJ, we saw with TJ, like, he can't even fight because his shoulder just comes out of the socket when he does.
The thing is, Yuri has been around for a really long time. He has been in Ryzen for a long time. He is a young guy, but you know, Jamahal Hill is even more fresh, you know what I mean? And he's already that good.
It does just leave us with Jan, Pereira, and Ankalaev.
It is kind of crazy that someone like Pereira, with a handful of fights, can come in, become a champion, and now, if this does get announced, and I'm assuming it will get announced to be a light heavyweight championship fight, to have the opportunity to fight for a second belt as well. What's that more indicative of? Is that indicative of the fact that the divisions and MMA in itself is actually really sparse there at the top, or is it indicative of the fact that he's that good that he can come and do that?
It's a bit of both. It's definitely the perfect storm in a way for Pereira, but also I don't think it's that peculiar at all, especially because he was a double champ, the only double champ ever in Glory. So of course you're going to get pushed because you have a combat sports resume that's very high level, but also he still had to beat 3 guys. Yuri came in, beat 3 guys and fought for the title. It does happen to these people, especially in a division that doesn't have contenders. How many 125ers
I suppose the slight difference though is like Yuri came in with an extravagant MMA.
Yeah, but it's still the same as kickboxing.
Was Pereira put in immediately with a high level wrestler in which arguably he was probably going to get taken down and submitted?
But was
he given the opportunity to go in against other strikers? I mean, for goodness sake, when you look back what got him the title shot, which was Sean Strickland. Yeah. Sean Strickland was the perfect perfect opponent for Pereira to go in and do exactly what he did to him.
You can definitely argue that the matchmaking helped him a lot, especially because he just skipped everybody, like skipped Vittori, skipped Whitaker, even someone like Kelvin Gastelum. He just skipped all these guys. He was rushed. Like, that's business. That's good fucking business.
It's the fight business.
It is the fight business, yeah. Arguably, if Hill wasn't injured, it would still be a number one contender fight. So he's still gone in there at the top of the division.
Well, it's because he beat Adesanya, so he took all of that, win streak off him. You know what I mean? Took the rub off him. So
I've been promised that I will fight for my title immediately as soon as I am able. It's just a test. I'm being tested, and I will stand up to the challenge as a man and as a champion.
All right, guys, if you didn't know, the UFC is coming back to London on Saturday, all right? And of course, the good people at Howler Head are doing 2 very special meet and greets on Thursday and on Friday. You're going to get to meet some UFC athletes, take some pictures with them, get some signed autographs, and you'll even get to taste some Howler Head. For more information, all you need to do is pay attention to the Howler Head socials on their Twitter and on their Instagram. All the details, the times, dates, and locations will be revealed. But for now, Thursday and Friday, before UFC London this weekend, it's happening, and Howler Head are bringing it to you.
Jamahal Hill, no longer the UFC light heavyweight champion. We found out very late Thursday night, and this is the type of injury / surgery / recovery which could take you a full year to come back from, sometimes even more.
No one's held on to that belt. It's been hot potatoed, like when Ronda Rousey gave up the bantamweight. So I would love to have seen Jamahal Hill fight Yuri, and for him to fight Pereira as well would be great.
I don't actually have a massive problem with those guys just round robining each other as well. I don't actually have a problem with it. If they all just fought each other for the next 2 years and they had exciting, explosive light heavyweight fights, don't actually have a problem with that at all. Maybe hot potatoing that belt amongst those guys isn't actually a bad thing. There is a lot of opportunity to have some really fun fights in and amongst those guys.
Do you feel like that light heavyweight, just in terms of attention that gets brought to it and star power and interest, is one of the weakest divisions right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that...
So it's great that Pereira's coming in, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not that it's not exciting. It's not that you don't have the opportunity to make that division exciting. It's just that, are the UFC struggling to, find someone that could be the face of it? Yeah, absolutely. But the truth is, like you just said, I think all of those guys could be the face of it. I think Yuri is literally one of the most exciting fighters in all of the UFC right now. Not just for the way that he fights is fucking mental, just throwing piss to the wind.
Yuri doesn't block.
No.
He does not block.
It's fucking
he
mad.
just does this and just moves away and then runs.
Like, he throws spinning elbows.
And he'll just punch you back.
The fact that you actually have a guy like that come in and fight like that and win, but not just win, knock people out. And then on top of that, he's just weird as hell. Like, the fact that he's got this mentality of like, oh, I'm a samurai and I'm going to go train in the woods, and here's a clip of me like punching a tree.
Is it interesting that both Jan and Alex were the guys that beat Izzy and now they're fighting each other?
Well, it's the next stage of Pereira's pettiness, isn't it? He's like, now he's coming up to beat the guy who beat Izzy. He's like, I can beat everyone that Izzy ever touches.
You push this narrative more than Izzy does. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
you see it on bloody Twitter all the time about how like this guy.
You see it on bloody Twitter. I hear it from you. That's where I.
Yeah, because I'm on Twitter.
I think Jan's probably going to win, because Jan is the guy who will, if you're a better striker than me, I will blast double leg you.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And he's good at that.
It's exactly what he did to Adesanya, which was just take him down, put the weight on him, hold him down, and just that was the most anticlimactic champion versus champion fight ever.
I think it was a pretty good fight.
I mean, it was a good fight, but it was like, because it was an Apex and there was no real crowd.
I think that was the...
And like Adesanya he just lost, and that was... It's almost like lots of people forgotten about that.
To be fair though, Jan did strike with Adesanya for 3 rounds and then took him down. So, but someone put a really interesting little highlight clip of people trading with Jan in the pocket, and Jan always throws his hooks quite low, like he comes up with them and leaves his chin open. And there's a little highlight clip of everyone landing left hooks on Jan, so they were like, oh, this is where the opening's going to come for Pereira, which I mean makes a lot of sense. But then Pereira also kind of throws the same as well.
By the way, if you don't know, you can click the join button down below and become a member of this channel, and you get a bunch of stuff, including the full uncut, unedited version of this, which is a bit dangerous, to be honest.
Yeah,
it is. We say some stupid stuff.
We do say some stupid stuff.
And that is available on any level of membership.
Oh, yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah. So
you can choose the first tier, and you've got half an hour twice a week.
Yeah.
Of the boys just having a bit of a nice chat, eh?
A lot of people have said they wanted the full-length version of this.
Yeah.
So, and I would say membership, mate, it's going up. It's going up fast. It actually is.
What, price-wise?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying, what do we do? Triple the membership recently? I
Yeah.
think it's because people want this kind of stuff and all
Yeah.
the other stuff that's on there as well. So
And also, you know, the fact that you do get to watch that 30 minutes and there is a lot more of a tighter community there as well. So your voice is really heard in those for those videos as well.
and you get a free T-shirt.
You don't, there's no free
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
There's no
What?
There's
no
no
t-shirt.
cut that no t-shirt.
Yeah.
But more importantly, what Alex does do every week, you, Tommy, and Jason, you guys all talk in a writers' meeting, don't you?
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's literally where these guys make the lists.
Yeah.
So you can come in the chat and you can talk to these guys. You can have an entry in your own
That's
list.
true. Yeah, you can.
If you wanted to suggest, I don't know, top 10 times that fighters were too short to then fight
No,
the other
that wouldn't
people.
work.
Okay.
If you're interested in short
I
fighters,
think, look, the longer the short of it is, a lot of you talk a lot of shit about me, okay? And why don't you come in the writers' meeting and back it up?
Yeah.
All right?
There is
Because-
actually a belt tier for our
There is.
members, by the way, as well.
I'm a
You get
blue
a
belt.
belt?
Yeah, Luke's a blue belt. The longer that you're with us as a member, the higher your belt grade goes up. So at the end of the year, you could be a black belt. I'm just saying.
Yeah.